Hello there everybody, Subordinate aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Irae Amantes Amentes. In the last episode, that was... oh, so satisfying. I fucking called it, that Shiro was still alive somehow. Also, that... man, Rusalka must have had one hell of a stomachache or indigestion or something, because dear Lord Shiro fought back, and boy, he fought back in a fantastic way. Stealing Rusalka's on an airbay. Holy fuck! I called that he was still alive. Whew. Also, I got cock-blocked so badly that I misspelt the goddamn name for the save file. Thank you for pointing that out, GAs. I did not realize that even in the middle of my editing. I kind of had to go back and I just looked at him like, oh my god, I'm a freaking idiot. I hate... I got cock-blocked so hard I couldn't even spell it right. Oh my god. But, more importantly, Shiro's back in the game and fighting against Wilhelm. That entire battle made me... I was losing my damn mind at how giddy and just amazing that entire experience was. I don't know what it is, but anytime Wilhelm or Shiro is involved, it is always a blast. And I love every minute of it. Good God. I swear, like... I've never felt this, like, level of giddy. Like, it's not, I mean, I'm gonna do a bit of a comparison here. It's kind of like Umineko. It got me into that level of giddiness, you know? I'm not even sure if giddiness is even a word, but fuck it. No. I am of the firm thought that Rusalka she still has to be alive. I mean, if she died, then the swastika would have opened. And I know, like, one other comment just kind of like, yeah, they're kind of agreeing with me on that one, so she's got to be alive, I mean. And now we're back in the church, so that's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Rei Himura woke up to a splitting headache. Her body was heavy and her mobility was limited. Upon looking around, she saw a great hole in the wall of the chapel and felt the torrents of battle flowing through it. She also noticed to happen a gigantic hole through Rusalka's abdomen.
Hey, how you doing, bitch? Fucking help me!
Someone was fighting outside. After a short scan of her memories, and before she lost consciousness, she guessed it to be Wilhelm and... Rusalka. Yet in truth, the witch was actually lying in her own pool of blood, clearly on the verge of death. Kid, you might end up being the one that gets devoured in the end. She meekly moaned while choking on her own blood. Rhea didn't know what happened to her, but it was more than obvious she was inching towards death with every passing moment. Rusalka's injuries were grave enough to consistently strip her vitality away. Though not nearly as hurt, Rhea herself was exhausted beyond belief, right to the point where even trying to raise her body was folly.
I gave birth! Oh god, oh dear, that doesn't sound like a very good thing.
Likely due to the battle outside, all the life force within the area was being drained. Everyone there was in danger. Rhea moaned as she tried to escape, but she didn't even have the strength to crawl anymore. In fact, even breathing proved a challenge under the weight of the wickedness swirling before the altar. Crushed by that pressure, she thought to herself. Was she going to die? Would her life end right then and there? And wouldn't it be something to celebrate? She thought it would probably be for the best. After all, with her death, Fuji might just be able to survive. Not to mention that she believed herself to be a creature unworthy of life. Thus, she begged the divine to grant her a swift end. A desperate, voiceless prayer. Though corrupt and warped, the chapel was still a house of God. It was by no means foolish to hope the Lord would hear the girl's ardent plea. However, it was a vain desire. This space was both a church and a womb to nurture darkness. And the girl's mortal vessel was host to devilry encroaching down to her very soul.
なんだかいい匂いだね。
Oh my god, Schreiber! Bloodlust. A staggeringly fierce desire to kill. A hurricane of raw calamity that banished all other auras that commanded the place. Before it, with a ferocity several times stronger in intensity. Rusalka convulsed on the floor, bloody froth gushing forth from her mouth as her eyes rolled back with their capillaries torn. Something was coming. It was dreadful and ominous beyond all description. It could only be called an amalgam of pure madness, wickedness, malice, and murder. For those were the only things it was made of.
Oh, yes, Way. The psychic little boy is about to appear. Boy, whatever.
What gender the fuck is Schreiber at this point? Within her vision, clouded by death, she saw the aura swirl, gather, and gain a physical form.
Oh, boy. Hi.
The bloody chapel was graced with the presence of an ashen messenger. Though angelic in appearance, he had the mind of a rabid beast. The Obsidian Round Table was a band comprised of soul-consuming demons, but no one matched him in their dedication to that indulgence.
やあんな。60年ぶりだね。懐かしいよ。
Number 12 of the Longinus Dreisen Orden's Obsidian Round Table. Wolfgang Schreiber, Hrovitner. Wait, Hrovitner. Hrovitner? Ah, fucking hell. I can't fucking do that and I'm already slipping to a bit of a stupid little accent. The frenzied Ashen Knight descended before the witch and the saint. Irae Himura was oblivious to a certain fact. One of the three knights, Reinhard's closest aides, was given the task to stay by her side, and any danger that befell her would be the trigger to call him forth. Oh! Interesting! Therefore, the boy had full authority on what he could do with anyone that dared cause Irae harm. That is interesting! So Schreiber is actually tasked with protecting Irae? Huh. Was this revealed? Is it? This feels like a new detail here. Right after appearing, Schreiber sat on Rusalka. Then, while getting comfortable, he looked down at the dying witch and listened to her bawling with an innocent smile on his face.
アンナ、君は何やってんだい？あの子をいじめちゃダメじゃないか。
Oh, boy.
違うの、私じゃない。私、何もしてないわ。アイドリッキョの命令にだ、逆らってない。
Her appeal was genuine and devoid of falsity. Its sorrowful tone capable of moving the hearts of many. Rusalka wept as her voice grew hoarse with desperation. After all, unless she could persuade Schreiber of where her loyalties lay, he would surely kill her.
お願い、どうかアイドリッキョに。
でもそうは言うけど、あの人は今いないんだよね。
Rusalka didn't understand what he meant by that. Still wallowing in blood, she looked at him with confused eyes. In response, the boy tilted his head to the side. He was looking for an explanation he could use.
僕ら3人が出ている時に、まだあの人は出てこれないよ。少なくともあと1つ2つは スワスチカが開かないとね。
Oh boy, are you going to kill Are you like gonna like... Well, I guess technically can be considered knight. I was gonna say mercy kill, but then I remembered, oh wait a minute. This is DSE Irae, of course. I have a feeling that two options here. Either Bay dies or Schreiber, you know, kind of finishes off Rusalka, thus triggering the swastika to open.
わかるかな。僕らはハイドリヒ教の一部なんだ。ルベドとニグレドと、そしてアルベドの3つに分かれてるって言えばいい？つまりね。
The materialization of souls to the Yetzira degree. Rusalka was at a loss for words, even forgetting her own pain. It was only a moment ago that she had her weapon taken away from her in an unexpected twist. There was no way she could forget what he meant.
だからアンナ、今の僕らは3人のハイドリヒ教だと言ってもいいんだ。おのおのの自由意志で動くことを許されてるし、自分同士で仲間割れでもしない限り怒られたりしない。とまあ、そういうことでね。あの人に言いたいことがあるならここで言いなよ。結局同じことなんだし。
Oh boy. Was he saying that Schreiber, Machina, and Samiel were all devoured by Lord Heydrich? She couldn't believe his words until a detestable phrase came back to her. No one will be spared. If Lord Heydrich returns, he will consume us all. No. Rusalka rejected the idea with all her being. She wanted to live the way she was now. She wished to rely only on her own wisdom and power. But now she knew the nature of that monster. The miracle she was promised was an eternal existence within the chaotic maelstrom inside him. Why was the boy so composed? Did he not understand what a terrible creature he had become?
変なアンナ。君は死にたくないんだろ？ハイドリヒ教の一部になれば、それで願いが叶うじゃないか。あの人は誰にも嘘なんか言っちゃいないよ。スワスチカを完成させれば、君らは集めた魂に見合った不死になれる。それが死人だってなんだって捧げてしまえば、獣のたてがみとして生き返ることができるんだからさ。
The frenzied animal couldn't see a single problem with that. He cared little about what he belonged to.
僕は人さえ殺せればいい。一日でも長く、一人でも多く。そしていずれは一人残らず。それが叶うなら、ねえアンナ、僕はこんな幸せないと思うよ。
Poor Rusalka. The trembling in her lips cut her sentence short. Insane, 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 insane! The boy was broken beyond measure. Talking to him didn't feel like a conversation with another human being. And the other two were just like him, albeit on a different scale. Samiel had her fanaticism, while Machina, his grudge. The Imperial Guard cared not for their own individuality. They were monsters driven by a single craving. However, even so, Rusalka... She spoke after weakly shaking her head. She didn't give in to despair. That was a plight of lowly commoners. Even if her body succumbed to injury and refused to listen to her, and even if she lost enough blood to make her consciousness fade, she still had her wisdom and experience. Aside from Mercurius, Rusalka was the only person to walk the path of sorcery before she joined the Obsidian Round Table. She had methods of distancing death even before she came to know the Iwikite. With that truth in mind, her situation didn't seem too bad. The fact that Schreiber, not Machina or Samiel, was the one to come to her was the greatest proof of that. True genius was neither in the perspiration, nor within the spark of inspiration. It was luck. The stroke of fortune that came when it mattered the most. The will and ability to reach out at the right moment, at one's darkest hour. Or, right moment, sorry. Another necessity was the mental strength to not despair. Even when her stomach was split open, Rusalka refused to give up. She could feel the moment of luck drawing ever closer.
私とても悲しいわ。せっかくあなたと会えたのに。
Rusalka spoke up, while casting a powerful spell on herself. It was nothing but a simple order. Love the man before you. She planned to fool him by tricking herself. She would overcome this trial by using that love both fake and honest. The improvisation made her method truly hackneyed, but Rusalka believed that it was more than worth a try. After all, Schreiber probably had taken a liking to her. It wasn't her womanly intuition, but she definitely had a basis for that assumption. Schreiber was the only one within the obsidian table to call her Anna. Not her title as a member of the Order, not her magic name, but the human name she left behind a long time ago. Rusalka did not know why the man referred to her like that, nor did she care for that matter. However, at the very least, it was a sign that she was special to him. That was where her hope lay, and what she decided to bet on.
愛しているのよ。私はあなたを。
Oh boy. The spell made Rusalka fully believe what she was saying. Even the tears trailing down her cheeks were as honest as they were fake.
君が僕を
だからお願い。
Oh dear.
助けて。
I doubt it's really gonna work, Rusalka. I've kind of seen, like, from the glimpses I've seen of Schreiber, I'm not entirely sure that's actually going to work. The charm became all the more truthful, successfully bewitching Schreiber. As it happened, her injuries were starting to heal. Even when stripped of her Irae, Rusalka Schwaglin was by no means powerless. She had passive restorative magic that would heal her cells when she was hurt, and she lowered her pain to make it easier for her to keep her focus. Her greedily tight grasp on life was something to behold. It was a feat impossible for the rest of the Order. When it came to things like this, she was far above those who were at their greenery just 60 years ago.
私は弱いの。嬉しいならあなたみたいにはきっとなれない。そんなのは嫌。あなたに触れて感じたい。私はこのまま生きていたいの。愛しているのよ。シュライバー。
She extended and put her shaking hands around Schreiber's neck, then pushed her lips against his.
アンナ
Ooh, that. The boy replied with shock.
君は僕を愛しているの？僕と君は恋人になるの？
あなたが私を助けてくれた。
Oh dear. In response to her voice, growing even fainter.
そうか。そうか、なるほど。僕と君は恋人同士か。
I have a really bad feeling about this. Like I said, I've kind of seen how Schreiber is, so... Schreiber muttered to himself, as if etching those words into his soul. His slender shoulders were shaking, barely at first, then with more intensity.
愛ね。
Oh boy.
とてもいい言葉だ。僕もいろんな人に愛されて。わかるよ、アンナ。僕もね。
He altered his expression as his voice transformed, both of which were changes that seemed far too sudden. There wasn't a being on Earth who could know the workings of his mind. Not even the boy himself. Uh-oh. Therefore, upon seeing the erratic amplitude of his mood swings in action, Rusalka could easily assume that her cunning hadn't failed and provided her with a satisfactory result. After all, the boy before her was sobbing. And a few seconds later, released a soul-splitting scream. A heart-rending wail resounded throughout the church. Mindless of his surroundings, Schreiber writhed as he shed tears and wailed to the point of appearing ominous. Seemingly grieving over the loss of his lover, he took the girl's body into his arms and continued his cry.
Anna! 僕のアンナ! しっかりしてよ、大丈夫だから! お願いだから、目を開けてよ!
Bearing witness to that madness, Rusalka reacted as her own spell commanded, while her subconscious calculated the following course of events. She couldn't allow her focus to dwindle, as anything that would get her on Schreiber's bad side would be her curtain call. She needed to stay vigilant, regardless of how well her plan was working out. I'm wondering how Hamura was just kind of like, she's probably just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on right now? Bae? Shiro? Could you, wait. Oh, that's right, I was unconscious. Bae? Dear God. As unreasonable a creature the boy might have been, Rusalka nonetheless found herself charmed by his honesty. He was the only one in the world who could give her a new dawn. Okay. Oh boy. Oh dear. She wanted to respond by saying that he was the one troubling her breathing by putting too much brute strength into his embrace, but she realized that it was a complaint best left for later. She would heal her wounds, become healthy, and then talk about it like a nostalgic event. It wasn't important to her right now. Rusalka's room was covered in several layers of magical fields. If she were to get there, the magic she used to keep herself alive would increase in power. As severe as her injuries were, they'd probably fade in about 3 days. The only problem was getting there. Schreiber sobbed and shed a flood of tears as Rusalka put her hand on his ashen hair, gently rubbing his head. She hid her impatience and irritation while realizing that having him ask the same question over and over was even more troublesome. She had to give him the answer to redirect his emotions. Thus... Oh... With the grip of Schreiber's slender arms, goddammit, becoming even tighter, she started to drown in the blood gathered within her lungs. Rusalka's spine creaked as her broken ribs bored into her insides. Her intestines slid out of the hole in her abdomen, falling onto the... Oh, Jesus Christ! Her answer might have been a critical mistake. Within her bloodied, fading vision, she saw Schreiber's bloodlust reach a height great enough to shake even her. Things were looking grim, beyond hopeless.
そうだね。一緒に殺そう。ハイドリ秘境と一緒にいたくないなら、僕と一緒にいればいいよ。君は僕の中で生きればいい。
Rusalka spouted a bloody froth as she felt the bones in both of her arms get crushed. Even more of her insides gushed out of her wound. Schreiber was no longer crying.
だから殺そう。ユサシロを殺そう。僕のすべてで、愛で、悲しみで、憎しみで、すべてで殺そう。
Oh boy. Rusalka desperately tried to keep herself together. Earnestly believing that there would surely be another stroke of luck she could grab onto, she still refused to give up. The genius she thought herself to be could never meet her end at a place like this. The loss of blood and troubled breathing deprived Rusalka's brain cells of oxygen, prompting her to try and hastily weave a spell to restore them. Even as she could feel herself losing access to certain knowledge and memories within her brain, she refused to faint. Losing consciousness was out of the question. After all, it wasn't over yet. As long as Rusalka stayed alive, she still had a chance. Nonetheless, it was hard for her to ignore the dampness and stench of the blood she was drowning.
Oh boy. いいよこの感じ。
Schreiber shrouded as his eye became bloodshot with joy. Revenge! How sweet! How intoxicating! He found the echo of that word.
こんな理由で人を殺すのは初めてだ。
Oh. Congratulations!
あんなありがとう。君の仇は僕が絶対この手で撃ってあげるからね。
Well, that's good. Schreiber howled at the top of his lungs, embracing Rusalka so tight he could practically squeeze her dry. Bearing witness to the madness, Irae Amantes fainted once more.
Okay, I'm out.
Well. Shit. 12 of the deathly instruments shattered and fell. Wilhelm uttered the words with an almost saddened tone before breathing a heavy sigh.
もう少しやれるかと思ったが、割にあっけねえ締めだったな。てめえの負けだよ。言うことあるか。
The stake poking out of his right hand was piercing Shiro's chest. It was a critical wound more than worthy of being the mark of Wilhelm's victory. We brought him back only to bring him down. God damn it. With a cracking sound, the stake dug even deeper, right to the point where the vampire's hand went out of his back.
何もねえなら、これで終わりだ。あわよクソガキ、それなりに楽しかったぜ。
At that moment,
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。あばよ、注意。あ
ah? The strange words and the sensation just as perplexing made the vampire's face contort. Suddenly, intense pain jolted through his elbow, accompanied by a scorching heat, followed by a sound of meat being bitten off. Could it be that... Oh. Oh my god! The arm that Wilhelm forced into Shiro's chest was gone from the elbow downwards. He hastily jumped backwards, but it was too late.
アウフビーダーぜ。これくらってバルハラ行けや。
The muzzle pushed against his forehead, suddenly released a chain of shots. Despite feeling like his head was being pulverized, Wilhelm had yet to give up. Whoa! Oh my god! Holy shit! Holy fuck, that is... Oh, that is brutal! He bent his head backwards, then threw it to the side, reducing the damage to only half of his forehead. The wound might have been devastating enough to instantly kill any common man, but it didn't even incapacitate him. The vampire lowered Shiro's offensive ability by kicking the gun out of his hand, which he followed up with a ranged stake attack. Even though as he was in a critical condition, it was all done almost instinctively. A testament to Wilhelm's long history as an unmatched abomination of war. However, he couldn't expect any decent results from such abruptness. The stakes only grazed his opponent and shot out into the darkness, vanishing from sight.
伊達に長生きしてねえか。
Whoa!
ほんと諦め悪いな。お前らってよ。
Oh my god, that looks so fucking cool! Oh my god, look at the teeth inside his belly. Okay, this looks so fucking awesome! Shiro had a large hole in his chest, with countless fangs growing out of its sides. It looked just like a mythical beast's mouth. Anything within would be skewered, drained of their blood, and literally eaten alive. They were the very jaws of death. It was the symbol of Elizabeth Bathory, the most wicked instrument of torture and execution there ever existed. The Iron Maiden. I just had to see that one damn image and I already knew. The trump card that Shiro had kept hidden right until the very end. He only took the attack to his chest to lure Wilhelm into his trap. The wound he received from the scheme was grave indeed, yet healing it by feeding on the arm he bit off was very much within the realm of possibility.
で、さっきの言葉、そっくり返すぜ。お前の負けだ。
Though deprived of one of his arms and half of his face, Wilhelm was still standing. Not only that, but he seemed to be laughing.
そうか。そうさ。こいつ案外いい手だぜ。血を入れ替えるだけで足らねえんだな。肉も骨も入れ替えちまえばいい。
Glowing like embers, his bright eyes blazed with hatred and rage. Do you mean eye? The blood flooding out of him was a sign of his life edging toward its end. However, even in that situation, the vampire was able to sneer, as if to declare that the battle was far from over. He bared his fangs and roared that he wouldn't let it end like this.
バカが聞かねえんだよこんなもん。俺をやりたきゃ首切り落として心臓潰しな。こんな半端で肩ついたと思ってんじゃねえぞひよっこが。
Way to overload your mic, holy shit!
俺は負けねえ。誰にも絶対死んでもだ。ましてこんなところでよ。
Step by step, Wilhelm got closer. Shiro looked at him and took out a Colt Anaconda, the gun used by Ellie.
さすがは戦争経験者か。その程度の怪我、別に珍しくもないってわけかよ。いいぜ、きっちり型はめてやる。
As casual as his tone was, Shiro himself was critically exhausted and definitely not in perfect shape. He stayed put not because he was showing off, but because he couldn't move. And he wasn't shooting because the blur in his vision was making him doubt his aim. 12 of his weapons were destroyed, and although it had already begun to heal, he had a hole in his chest. Even the mere actions of standing and speaking were putting his life at risk. Indeed, the battle wasn't over. The damage on both of them was about equal. The scales weighing their battle had yet to tip one way or the another. Though Shiro's injury was gradually healing up, Wilhelm was approaching him at a speed far greater than that. The moment to decide the battle's outcome was less than a few seconds away.
さあ続けようぜ。まだ終わりじゃねえ。頭かっ飛ぶまでやり合うとよ。見えてくるものがあるんだよ。あれはよ、いつだったかな。ワルシャワの日は綺麗だったぜ。思えばあれが俺にとっちゃ初めての。
Then at the moment right before the distance between them came to a fatal intersection.
見苦しいな。いい加減邪魔だから消えちゃってよ。
Oh shit. It was hard to tell which of them was more surprised.
Huh?
Oh! What? The church cross that broke in their fight pierced Wilhelm from the back. What the fuck? Then came a violent scream, followed by Fenrir's mocking laughter that tore apart the twofold knight. What the hell, Schreiber? This whole fucking round is just cockblock after left and right. Why did you steal freaking Wilhelm's moment, you asshole? The blood-red moon cracked and slipped away as the night roared in its collapse. Seriously, sounds like he's... Oh my god! That just hurt. That just hurt! Wilhelm's voice was drenched with anger, grudge, and humiliation. Those were the only things he could feel after losing the apex of his acne to him, of all people.
Auf Wiedersehen, 米注意。まあ、いろいろ言いたいこともあるだろうけど、今はとりあえず、君の命でここのスワスチカを開いちゃいなよ。
Oh, don't take away my favorite vampire! What the hell? I guess I've got something to look forward to when I do an interview with Kaziklu Bey. The explosive, insane cackle of the Ashen Knight could even drown out the pallid vampire's final scream. Indeed, one could say that his life within this recurrence was one where he was constantly robbed of something. Clearly, this is just fucking cockblock Kaziklu Bey all over. Dear God, man. And somebody cast Megiddo Owen, apparently. Wilhelm fell, releasing the souls he had accumulated, thus opening the 6th swastika. Why did it come to this? That was the only thing on her mind. She thought she still had a future, a new dawn that wouldn't be her final one. The unexpected result made her examine the course of events and find the cause. It could have been called a habit, a coping mechanism she picked during her long walk on the path of sorcery. And so she asked herself that critical question. What mistake brought forth this terrible result?
しかしやるね、君。
Shiro stood on the front yard of the church and turned around to face the owner of the voice. When Wilhelm died, the air became mixed with something foul enough to make his heart uneasy and fill him with nausea. That was what a swastika's opening felt like. It was an unpleasant sensation just by being there. He wanted to vomit his saliva right until his mouth was dry.
何か用かよ。
As such, it came as no surprise that the boy's response to the intruder lacked in courtesy. There was no other reason behind it.
君はちょっと普通じゃないね。いや、今は当然そうなんだけど、最初からただの人間じゃなかったでしょ。
As Shiro couldn't find his Zippo lighter, the cigarette in his mouth was still unlit. The Ashen boy looked at him intently while continuing his speech.
脳みそから漏れる汁が少し供給過剰な感じなのかな。以前事故にでもあったかい？痛覚、味覚に。それから嗅覚も怪しいね。君は三冠が行かれた代わりに他が限界突破してるみたいだ。いいね。なんか懐かしくなっちゃうよ。昔は僕の代替にも君みたいなのが複数いてさ、マリオネッティン・イエーガーって言うんだけどね。みんな。
Oh shit, that was an accident. Schreiber sounded like he was talking to an old friend. Also, mad face over there. Suddenly, Shiro found himself dizzied by his very existence. Schreiber was nothing but a humanoid gathering of bloodlust, and his nonchalant laugh that wasn't nearly enough to hide it, his pure, genuine desire to kill surpassed even that of Reinhard. though human in form, words and apparel, he was an oddity through and through. A rabid beast that knew only the ways of bloodshed. Any attempts at conversation would be like talking to a wall. Shiro noticed that the ashen boy's eye was blazing bright, emanating an abnormally dense energy. Then, he saw the redheaded girl he held by her hair, reduced to nothing but her upper half.
僕、君を殺すよ。
Oh.
へえ。
His words rang obvious and not worthy of the least bit of surprise. The boy's whole body had been telling him that from the moment he appeared.
アンナの生物を取ったの。君なんだろ、ユサシロ。
いちいちフルネームで。
He refrained from finishing his sentence and pushed a lock of hair out of his eyes.
ああ、俺がユサシロだが、それで。
A silent whisper rode the wind and reached Shiro's ears. Christ, she is determined to live, dear God. Also, holy fuck! With an annoyed smile on his face, Schreiber raised his right hand to his eye level. Rusalka's hair was still in his grip.
Ne, Anna. 僕は今、彼と話をしてるんだよ。ちょっと後にしてくれないかな。
His left hand dug into her face. Oh!
後にしてって言ってるだろ。ほんとごめんねユサシロ。まあちょうどいいから聞いちゃうけどさ、これやったの君なんだよね。
Well, to be kind of fair, I didn't do most of that. All I did was tear myself out of her belly. You kind of did all that yourself, just saying. Even Shiro was at a loss for words. He was perplexed both by Rusalka still being alive and that same by Schreiber's mental workings that let him beat and point at her with a bright smile on his face. Shiro wanted to respond by saying that the boy was the one who punched her, but he knew full well that the question referred to. However, he wasn't of the mind to speak to him, so he clenched his lips, spat a cigarette to the ground, and nodded.
よかった。じゃあ決まりだ。実は僕、彼女の恋人なんだよね。
は？
A lover he punched in the face while she pleaded him on the verge of death?
だから、彼女を殺した君は必ず殺すよ。なぜだかわかる？それが僕の愛の証明になるからさ。
おいおい。
Was he supposed to laugh? Shiro thought about how he should react, but all that came out was a sigh. Schreiber made a broad smile.
今確かに伝えたよ。敵討ちにも決闘にも宣言って大事だからね。
はあ、そりゃ律儀な坊ちゃんだな。で、どうすんだい？すぐ始めんのか？ん？
何言ってんの君。
Schreiber's eyes widened as if he couldn't get what Shiro was saying. Then Rusalka's body fell.
始めるわけないだろ。だってこれは敵討ちだぜ。
Oh. I have a bit of a very sick feeling I know what's about to happen here.
何？
見なよ、彼女まだ生きてる。だったら君をここで殺しても敵討ちにならないじゃないか。
Oh, God. Shiro ran his fingers through his hair, looked up, then down, tilted his head to the side, closed only one of his eyes, and spoke.
付き合ってられっか。
それはないだろ。人がせっかく盛り上がってんのにさ。
He just casually walks away. Okay.
いいですシャイロお願いだから
もうなんだここは。バカばっかりか。チャンバラにはバカしかいないのかよ。僕はマシな女だったのに60年経ったらバカになっちゃったわけ。どうなんだよあんな。
He picked Rusalka up by her hair again and started shouting into her ear.
僕は助けるわけないだろ。これはさ、敵討ちなんだよ。いい？わかる？敵討ち。君が生きてたらあいつは敵にならないだろ。
Okay, I hate Rusalka as much as the
分かって
next.
んの？
I hate Rusalka as much as the next person, but dear God, even she does not deserve this kind of treatment. Dear God, just fucking put her out of her misery at this point. The shock of having her brain directly scrambled by the loud volume right next to her ears made Rusalka spout bloody froth as her eyes rolled backwards.
本当に困っちゃうよな。
Schreiber stood up, shrugged and noticed Shiro tiredly passed the church's front gates.
あ、帰るの？ねえ、なるべくさ、遠くへ逃げろよな。僕って足速いからさ、いつもすぐ捕まえちゃって面白くないんだよね。
Shiro kept on walking, paying no attention to Schreiber as he waved an intense goodbye.
なあ、よさしろ。君がこれからどこに逃げても、僕は探し出して殺すから。
Hearing the frenzied laughter behind him made Shiro all the more tired. He found his Zippo light after reaching for his back pocket, which wasn't a place where he'd usually leave it. After igniting a cigarette, he took a deep smoke and found peace in the fragrance of tobacco. The air in his lungs and the breath he exhaled felt too foul even for him.
一人消えたと思ったらたまんねえよな。倍疲れるバカが出てきやがる。
Yep. He looked up at the sky with sluggish eyes and saw something at the edge of his vision. It was a distortion too microscopic for anyone with a normal sense of sight to notice.
今のは
The fight within the Stygian night made his eyes get used to the darkness. He only made 2 uses of his cigarette before throwing it to the ground, putting it out with a stomp, and going after the irregularity. The wounds he sustained during his battle with Wilhelm had already begun to heal. Wait, you're just gonna end it like that? Well, she's dead. She's considering that just kind of happened, she's definitely dead. I think. Christ. Swastika 6 out of 8. Chapter 10, Negredo, Albedo, Rubedo, End. Holy fuck. Okay, I'm gonna see where this goes. Just... Oof. I legitimately just felt bad for Rusalka there, dear God. Freshness was just one of the many values humanity applied to anything in existence. Also, god damn it, they freaking took it away from freaking Wilhelm. Dear God, man. The most obvious and ubiquitous use of it was in temporal degradation of items relating to necessities of life, such as clothing, food, and shelter. But what of ideological, conceptual, and emotional freshness? A little thought was needed to realize that it was all in the lack of knowledge. Reactions to the unknown, surprise, excitement, or perhaps disgust, the myriads of vivid, humane emotions budding in the breast only by the virtue of the experiences being new, and the curiosity driving us to seek them. Beyond doubt, that was what he elevated humanity from standard primates to the prime of the world. No matter how masterful the composition, how fragrant the wine, how delicious the gourmet meal, how attractive the person bedded, repeatedly indulging in any such pleasures for days on, and eventually made one bored as the enthralling activities decayed. It became part of the stagnation known as everyday life. Humanity had a formidable affinity for acclimation. Continuity of any action could make a person adapt to it to the extent where they moved not by excited will but disinterested reflex. People saw no value in phenomena that lost their freshness. With that in mind, what would become of a man to whom everything was foreknowledge? At first, he would likely struggle against it, trying all the different activities and locations just as varied, but upon realizing that foreknowledge was a wall too great for him to scale, he would choose to do nothing. His empty days would pass as if he was in hibernation, scarcely distinguishable from a warm cadaver, and at the apex of his despair, both silent and profound, he would arrive at the gates of madness. A single craving which could come to dominate his mind. A desire for the unknown, a moment of freshness, vibrant and pure. As simplistic as it seemed, that was an optimal description of the man's life. Standing on the twilight shore, still and alone, he considered many questions. How great was the distance he walked? How long was the time marching beside him? What was the oldest memory within him? Even in the days he spent at the ancient desert kingdom, pronouncing himself Judy, and acting as the scribe of the gods, he could recall the disinterested and weariness already torturing him. What was happening before that? How far into his past would he have to delve to find his origin? He didn't have the faintest notion. However, a long time ago, he formed a theory. He didn't know whether his existence traced back to the creator of humanity or the genesis of the cosmos, but he had little doubt that he was close. After all, his foreknowledge emanated and resulted in the world warping into something it shouldn't have been. What came first, the chicken or the egg? What a silly riddle. He became aware of the concept of foreknowledge and began to yearn for the unknown. But that craving of his gave birth to nothing more but more foreknowledge. His rule created a world sealed away in a ghetto of torturous familiarity and made it emanate onto all of the cosmos. That was his theory for reality's design. It was reasonable to assume he was akin to the roots of humanity, which brought him to another one of those theories. Specifically, the question of what would happen to the plant if its roots were cut off. Despite never making any attempts to prolong his life, he was everlasting, the perpetually wandering Ahavir, as the creator of the rule governing this ever-enduring eternal recurrence. He couldn't die as long as it persisted. Even if it was possible to kill him, the act would surely be equal to the genocide of all humanity. As a rootless tree would fall, so would the cosmos crumble without him. Therefore,
私を殺せるものを作って全てを破壊し尽くすか、私を超えるものを作ってこの法則から抜け出すか、結局のところ二つに一つ。さて、どちらが基地でどちらが未知か、私はその時どうなるのか。
So is this like we're delving into Mercurius's reasoning for creating Ren? Just somebody to end him, I guess? It would be an overriding. The emanation of a new rule would alter foreknowledge. The man faintly chuckled as he restlessly walked the twilight shore. The moment they would fall here was inching ever closer. The curtains would rise for the day of wrath only when destruction and apotheosis descended upon this singularity.
ならばこれが最後になるのか。
The man muttered with no discernible emotion in his voice as Margaret Breuil silently sang at his side. Her voice was sweet and earnest, far more moving and emotional than it was back when he lived as Cagliostro. The girl was undergoing rapid changes.
彼が愛しいか、マルグリット。
A whisper too silent for her to hear, followed by a gentle smile. Clearly, it was time for him to teach a substitute the proper way to love her. For it was likely that the act would remove the lock. Ew. Chapter 11. Ghetto. Der Ewigkeit. Right after escaping the carnage of the hospital, I went to ensure Kasumi's safety. Her eyes still closed, she continued her deep sleep. As worrying as it was, however, I couldn't help but feel thankful for it. Taking Kasumi with me was out of the question, so I really wanted her to stay like this for as long as it took me to set things right. I was hoping that by the time she awoke, she would believe all of this to have been no more than a nightmare. I had a feeling I'd been in a situation like this before, thinking the exact same things as now, but that didn't change the sincerity of my emotions. No place in this city felt completely safe, but at least I knew her room was not part of any swastika. I felt uneasy about leaving her like this, but she would definitely be safer here than with me. They had no use for Kasumi, so it was fair to assume they wouldn't go out of their way to take her. There should be no problems with letting her sleep here. So,
ごめんな。もうちょっと待っててくれ。
Bye, Kasumi.
leaving the room, I once again found myself assailed by a thought I had been trying to discard. The fact that I let the hospital be destroyed, and the shame it made me feel. I did my best and felt certain there was nothing more I could have done. People who died that night, however, that must have sounded like a pitiful excuse. As much as I could say that I had to let everyone die and Kasumi was the only one I could save, I'd be lying if I claimed that my personal bias had nothing to do with it.
お前に全部知られたら嫌われそうだしな。
As such, I couldn't help reprimanding myself.
終わりましたか?
Hi, Trifa? Are we finally going to get a continuation on this?
ああ、もう用は済んだ。
But I couldn't allow myself to wallow in such sentiments forever. Nodding to the priest waiting for me in front of the apartment, I pulled myself together. He seemed like a ludicrous person to cooperate with, but such crazy shifts in the situation were only obvious in a reality this warped.
さすがに深夜といえども騒がしくなってきましたね。まあ、あれだけ派手にことを起こせば仕方ないことでもありますが。
I legit don't even know how to feel about this.
こんな場所で我々のような組み合わせが立ち止まっていると人目につく。話は別の場所でしましょうか。
桜井を追うんじゃなかったのか。
ええ、ですがその前に、あなたは安心がいるでしょう。今の私が敵ではないと了解してほしいのですよ。ずっと警戒されていては何かと不便だ。まずは同盟の成立を優先するということで。
Fair enough. The priest began to guide me with a kindly smile on his face. After a bit of thought, I began to follow him.
ところで、例のお嬢さんは？
マリーのことか。それなら今は休ませてる。そうしてやりたいんだ。
Oh yeah, she really does need it.
うん。察するところ、ザミエル教ですか。
Oh yeah.
あの方はいろいろと容赦がないご気性ですからね。あなたの常人にも何かしら耳の痛いメンバなり何なりを行ったのでしょう。しかし、とはいえ。
どうでもいいだろう、そんなことは。
I purposefully cut his sentence short. Allowing him to speak as he wanted wasn't a good idea. Facing the priest was a difficult task that required the metal to take control of the situation and not let it go for even a moment. Yeah, you gotta keep your guard up still.
とりあえず、何でも教えるって言ったからには、俺が聞くことだけに答えてくれよ、神父さん。
I had to gauge him based on his attitude. Any talks of alliances would come after that.
まず。
We walked the late streets while I brought up subjects I still wasn't certain about. The remaining swastikas, the other enemies and their details, Himuro's condition and circumstances, etc. No matter how harrowing some of these things might be, I had to know them all. With great worry and hesitation, I continued my questions as the priest answered them with no particular emotion in his voice. Firefighters, ambulance, and police gathered at the ground zero of the explosion that wiped the hospital away. Surrounded by the wailing sirens, he and I continued our exchange. The panic engulfing the town and my conversation with the priest. While pondering trifling matters such as which side I truly belonged to, I concluded that I had to accept both worlds as part of my reality. Meaning that
氷室先輩がシスターのひ孫？
I also had to accept a truth that ridiculous.
ええ、もっともテレジアは知らないでしょうがね。
Oh, one of you guys, I really should have brought this up right at the very beginning. I apologize for this. But, the Oriental thing that I asked a question about, that's kind of like a bit of like an old slur for Asians, and, I apologize. I apologize. I mean, I did not know that. I'm sorry. His words carried the implication that he had no intention of telling her the truth, and that it was the sincere thing to do.
レーベンスボルン機関。昔のリザが属していた組織ですが、要するに人の次世代進化を目指した牧場ですよ。優生学というのですがね。オランダ人の父とフランス人の母から生まれた子供はいいとか悪いとか。あなたは馬鹿げた悪ふざけと思うかもしれませんが、当時はそう珍しい考えでもなかった。我々だけではない。アメリカやイギリスの方々も似たような議論や研究をしておられたそうですよ。
Oh, I'm sure they did. I would not be surprised if they did.
進化だって？
I couldn't hide my disgust at what he described. It sounded no different from what animal breeders did. Sure, it wasn't unreasonable to believe that the quality of children might increase when better genes were mixed, but human intimacy shouldn't be reduced to something so inorganic.
まあ、その憤りは正当ですが、事実として優生種の誕生をある程度狙えるというのはわかりますね。もっとわかりやすく、サラブレッドと言えばよいでしょうか。異なる雌雄の掛け合わせによる突然変異の創造。
You know, it's kind of crazy for me to think this, but could you imagine if Schreiber was part of that?
それじゃサラブレッドじゃなくてハイブリッドだろ。
Way too far-fetched, I know.
能力に対する純血化ですよ。馬の足を速くするなら、豹と掛け合わせればよい。もっとも、できればの話ですが。
Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that.
そんなの。
Ridiculous. The priest sensed what I was thinking and continued.
ええ、できない。できるわけがない。ですがね、藤井さん。これもあなたにはわからないことでしょうが、戦時という特殊な状況下にあって、無理です。できません。不可能です。などという真っ当な意見を述べる贅沢は許されないのですよ。
I mean, to be fair, he is not technically wrong. Wartime is where the real weird shit starts.
やれと言われれば、やるしかない。100万の失敗を繰り返しても、1の成功を求められる。その価値があると判断されたことならば、拒否などできない。
価値？
だから言ったでしょう。サラブレッドですよ。次世代進化。超人の創造。今更言うまでもないですが、対戦において我々は負けた。そして敗北とは、ある日突然訪れるものではない。その予兆。要するに、負けそうな機運というものは、どうしようもなく当事者全員が感じ取れる。ならば、局面を打開する一手がいるでしょう。超人の軍隊。陳腐ですがね。それがなれば、戦況を覆すことも可能だった。故に求められた。何もおかしなことはない。
けどそれなら、あんたらがいるだろう。
I didn't want to use the word, but the Obsidian Round Table were a band of the very same Ubermensch he was talking about. A single one of them should be enough to take on and overpower a whole army.
藤井さん、我々は確かに古い時代の年寄りですが、だからといって剣と槍のみで戦っていた中世の騎士ではないのですよ。戦場はすでに一個人の武勇でどうにかできるロマンではなくなっていた。爆撃機が飛び交い、火砲が轟き、この国では核などという破壊兵器までが使用された土級の修羅場だ。10人そこらの頭数で一体何ができますか。局所的、散発的な勝利は得られる。事実それをやった者も我々の中には少なくない。ベイやザミエル卿にマキナ卿、そしてキルヒ・アイゼン卿はご存じないか。とにかく彼らは戦場の英雄または死神としていくつかの絶望的戦況を覆した。がそれまでですよ。手が足りない。物量というものはとてつもなく正直で容赦がなく、故に絶対覆せない。理論において算数を上回るものはないのです。だから数。何としてもそれを増やさねば話にならない。そこで最初の問題に戻るのです。兵と掛け合わせてでも足の速い馬を作れ。結果はまあ歴史が証明していますがね。
Although Trifa wore a wry smile that showed not a hint of grief, it felt more as if he was amazed at how stupid the idea really was. Anyway, the point was that the Ubermensch creation plan failed, and that it was happening at the cost of countless young lives.
シスターがそんなことを。
Oh yes, she banged one out just a lot. My god, she was quite popular at the brothel for a while.
ええ。ですが、彼女を責めてはいけない。確かに人道的見地で言えば許しがたい行いですがね。誰とても壊れていく祖国を救うためなら鬼になり得る。彼女は彼女なりに守りたいものがあったのですよ。悪いのはむしろ副首領閣下だ。傑出した人物特有の歪みですが、彼の超人創造ないし魔人連星ですか。それは汎用性という面において全くどうしようもない欠陥品だった。つまり難易度が高すぎるのですよ。こんなことを言うのは口はばったいのですが、あなたやそして我々は奇跡的に優越な人種だからこそ彼の秘宝に耐えられたというだけに過ぎない。本末転倒とはこのことだ。副首領閣下の超人創造とはもともとそうであったものにしか祝福の光を与えない。超人を生むためには超人がいるなどと、それはどういう理屈ですか。ふざけているとしか言えないでしょう。よって彼の秘宝を汎用化させることは不可能。生まれついて生異物を操る適性に特化した人種、そんなものを多数生み出すことなどできはしない。故に
The priest cut himself short and looked down on me, imploring me to trace Sister Lisa's actions and state where they led her. It almost felt like he didn't want to word it himself out of respect for her memory. I spoke up in a low tone.
自分の子供か。
A child born with the genes of an Ubermensch, or going by his example, the child of a leopard. She couldn't prepare 100 or 1,000, but she was certain she could make at least one of them. It wouldn't be surprising if it was her last resort. One, just one, was enough to turn the tides. After all, she had already seen the method. she would make him into the key man that made Reinhard's beastly legion turn immortal and come alive.
リザは生真面目な人なのですよ。
Slightly regretful, the priest spoke in a quiet voice.
数えきれぬほど他人の子供を消費して、今さら我が子だけはなどと言えなかった。思うにそういうことではないですかね。レーベンスボルンは破林の機関だ。優生学研究という人の交配を目的としたものである以上、恋愛感情による男女の結合など夢物語に等しい。こうした場合、泣くのは女性だ。男は種をばらまくだけで腹を痛めないし、子への愛着もない。リザは苦しんでいたのでしょうよ。己だけが汚れずにいていいわけがない。そんなことは許されないと。彼女がはらんだこの父親は結局誰だか分かりません。我々の誰一人としてそれを知らない。分からないほどリザと関係した男は多すぎた。そうして相手を選んでいたのか、あるいは自らを汚したかったのか。真実は不明ですがね。そんなことはどちらでもよい。ただ彼女のこの血脈が黒煙卓の核となった。来たる日、我々の望みを成就するために必要なテレジア。私たちの望みとは何なのか、もう知っているのでしょう？
I wordlessly nodded. Sakurai told me all about it. The conjuration of immortality. The dead would return to life as the living would become undying. I even remember reading that gold was a metaphor for such things.
じゃあシスターの望みっていうのは？
ええ。自らが国家のために消費してきた幼子たちの命。その復活でしょうね。今となってはもはや叶わぬことですが。
Yep. So she was just like her.
桜井が言ってたよ。
A sacrifice of a few thousand lives would allow resurrection.
その時先輩はどうなるんだ？
スワスチカは黄金連星の陣。その核となるものはハイドリヒ教に吸収されます。つまり生贄だ。
Yep. So my hunch was right. Sister Lisa planned to sacrifice Himuro. But in the end, she rejected that idea and allowed me and Kasumi to escape, making Eleanor execute her. That was what I assumed, anyway.
彼女は自身の葛藤を何よりも大事にしていると私に言っていましたよ。
I wasn't saying anything, so the priest probably looked down at me to try and understand what I was feeling. If Sister Lisa really thought that what I assumed... If Sister Lisa really thought what I assumed she did, why didn't she tell me anything? I didn't want to fight her, and it just so happened that we didn't. If she wanted to save Himuro, we could have easily teamed up.
だから贖罪でしょう。リザはあなたに託した。罪をあがなうという望みを捨てて、テレジアを救うという、それもまた罪。彼女が手にかけた幼子たちを救わないなら、そのツケは己の命で払うしかない。葛藤ですよ、藤井さん。リザ・ブレンナーという人間はつまるところその概念に終始する。彼女は土壇場まで悩み迷って決断した。そういうことです。
She's a very confusing woman in a way.
そしてだからこそ今私はこうしてここにいる。
じゃあ何か。
I looked up at the tall priest. Was this the reason he wanted to ally with me?
あんたはシスターのためにその望みを叶えたいって。
重はゆいですが、 そういうことになりますね。言ったと思いますが、私もテレジアを救いたいと思っている。
But if we really want to get rid of Reinhard, we would have to technically summon the 8th swastika to possibly kill him?
だったらあんた自身の望みはどうなるんだよ。大体。
I didn't even know what he wanted. Did he wish to become immortal? Or perhaps bring someone back from the dead? I assumed it wasn't the former. He didn't seem like the type for that. And if it was the latter, who did he want to resurrect? And were they really something he could discard so easily?
以前、あなたはおっしゃいましたね。死人との再会を望むなどおかしいと。
He once again brought up the words that made me a target for Sakurai's heated resentment.
ええ、その通りだ。あなたは正しい。私とでそれくらいわきまえている。ですが、理屈ではないのですね。分かっていても許容できない。生殖につく身で情けなくもありますが。しかし、それだけに揺れている。リザは私と同類だと思ってましたが、ああもう見事に出し抜かれては、彼女の葛藤、その決断と心変わり、認めぬわけにはいかぬでしょう。実のところ、我々はあの病院であわや殺し合いの寸前でした。要するに、勝負の途中で一方的に勝ち逃げされた心地なのですよ。
I still think that would have been an interesting fight.
ならばこそ、彼女の選択を見届けたい。どちらが正しいのか、その結末をね。
I had a little trouble fully understanding what he was talking about, but I did get that he hasn't given up on his desire, which meant that even though the priest didn't mean any harm, he was still a potential threat.
はっきりしろよ、神父さん。前にあんたが俺に言ってきたことと同じ質問をするから答えてくれ。氷室先輩を死なせる気なのか、助ける気なのか。
後者ですよ。
He replied without a single moment's hesitation or delay in his voice.
だったら矛盾するだろ。あんた言ってることむちゃくちゃだぞ。
Yep. His wish could only be fulfilled at the cost of Himura's life, but he said he didn't want to let her die and still refused to throw away his desire.
方法は常に一つではない。そういうことですよ、藤井さん。これは魔導に関わる問題ですから、あなたには理解しづらいかもしれません。故に簡潔な説明をしますが、黄金錬成には5色いります。
Getting a hell of a nice little lesson with Mr. Trifa.
5色。
ええ。白、黒、赤に緑と黄色。つまるところ、この一角でも欠ければ完全な黄金は生まれない。私の望みはね、不完全な黄金だからこそなせる類のものなのです。あなたにはぜひこの5色を削り取っていただきたい。特にアルベド、ニグレド、ルベドの3つ。
Wait, you want me to kill them?
うちの2つ、いえ1つでも構わない。これが欠けてしまえば黄金は出てきませんよ。すなわちテレジアも死なずに済む。
That'd be hell of an interesting try to think to figure out who I'd have the most success at being able to beat. Probably Machina, I think. Schreiber is able to outspeed anything with his, I believe it's his Barrier, where nothing can actually outspeed him. As for Samiel, she's kind of hot, so I'm probably gonna die because of the heat right there. So I think Machina would probably be the highest chance of success, I think. His revelation was shocking, and certainly not something I'd considered or heard about before. If the priest wasn't lying, he had been a traitor to the Order from the very beginning. Wouldn't be surprising considering they also had Spine, By teaming up with that bastard, the man before me added a certain amount of authenticity to his position and objectives.
緑と黄色ってのは
テレジアと、そしてハイドリヒ教の生物。前者は言うまでもなく論外、後者は破壊不可能だ。
不可能？どうして？
I had no idea that Reinhardt's on an airbay was in our realm. If the priest wasn't lying about it, then it should be the first thing on our list of things to break. After all,
それを媒介にして奴は戻ってくるようなものなんだろう。一番危ないのはそいつじゃないか。なんで壊そうとしない？
藤井さん、あなたは素手でダイヤモンドを砕けますか？
another good comparison whenever it comes to Reinhardt. I mean, the first comparison we got with Reinhardt was do you think a tank worries about the ants that it runs over? And now here's another good example just to kind of explain how powerful Reinhardt is. Trying to break a diamond with your bare hands.
何？
ですから、単純な強度の話ですよ。ルールを忘れたのですか？より多く殺した者ほど強くなる。ハイドリヒ教の総軍がうちに渦巻く器などを一体どうやって壊すのです？やれるものならとっくに私がやっていますよ。あれは規格外だ。どうしようもない。一番難易度の低い選択がその他3色の消去なのですよ。だからこその提案なのです。
Fair enough. As things were, I didn't have the means to confirm the validity of the priest's words. However, his proposition did seem like it was worth a try, and he looked like he wouldn't waver on it no matter what. Apparently, I had no choice but to take out albedo, negrido, and rubedo. Honestly, with me being clueless about the occult, those words sounded like some malicious voodoo.
それはもしかしてあいつらのことか。
Eleanor, the woman I could barely hold myself against, and the large man I could see standing next to her after we escaped.
ええ。ハイドリヒ教のこの絵3人。黒煙卓の大隊長。
Technically, Trifa, couldn't you actually take out Schreiber, possibly? And I was supposed to beat them? Those freaks? So far, I'd only seen Eleanor display her powers, but that was more than enough for me to tell that she was on another level entirely. While I desperately fought with all I had, the woman acted like it was no more than a walk in the park. Not to mention that she also claimed the swastika like it was nothing. I wasn't planning on losing again, but I had no idea how I could win.
私は言ったでしょう。リザの仇を討ちたくはないのかと。
Yeah, he did ask me that, but...
そして、何もあなた一人でどうにかしろと言っているのではない。お互い手に余る障害なので、同盟を結ぼうと言っているのです。
Does that technically mean that you're actually going to fight alongside me? Holy shit, if we get Shiro, we'd be unstoppable. Nah, probably not. We'd still probably be stoppable, actually. Although, he is the divine vessel. He might be able to withstand a few attacks.
それにそもそも、ハイドリヒ教と正面切るよりは随分とマシだ。
That'd be an interesting team up.
まあ、とはいえ、冗談でないレベルの難関ですがね。故に、味方は多い方がいい。
His words got me thinking. Oh, that was why he...
桜井を引き込むって言ったのは。
そういうことです。彼女もまた私と同じく、不完全な黄金で望みを叶えた方が良い。本人はそれに気づいていませんがね。いささか偏狭な性格なので手を焼くでしょうが、そこは私が何とかしましょう。もっとも、彼女と足並みを揃えることに、あなたが了承すればですが。
Understatement. He had a point. Sakurai and I were like cats and dogs. I fought with her more than with any other person other the bastards, and we were completely opposites on many sentiments. An uncooperative ally was worse than an actual enemy, but...
そっちは任すよ。あんたの裁量でやってくれ。
I still didn't trust him, and had doubts about the validity of many things he had told me so far. But if there was one thing I fully and earnestly believed, it would be his claim that he didn't want Himuro to die. There was also the painful realization that I couldn't do anything on my own, so the priest's proposition to kill a battalion commander by cooperating with him sounded reasonably attractive. Not to mention that if he was actually their pawn, he wouldn't have to pretend to ally with me just so he could stab me in the back. They could just run me over with their overwhelming numbers. He said it himself, after all. Nothing could overturn mathematics. Therefore, it was fair to assume this wasn't a plot to take me out. So...
話は分かった。まず桜井を探そう。あいつをあんたが取り込めたら、その時同盟云々は考えるよ。
That was probably the best response I could give right now.
どこか心当たりは？
大丈夫。彼女の位置は把握していますよ。問題ありません。
Okie dokie.
では、急ぎましょう。すでに6番までスワス地下が開きました。おそらく、シュライバー卿でしょうが、ベイとマレウスはもはや死んだと思っていい。
Being the first irregulators I ever met, Rusalka and Wilhelm left quite a strong impression on me. And now I found out they were killed by Albedo, the one battalion commander I hadn't seen yet. The number of enemies had fallen, but the situation was so bad that I couldn't become the least bit optimistic. Alright, I think that's actually a pretty good place for me to go ahead and end it for right now. No, we're gonna leave that terrible misspell right there. Just to kind of show how I feel. Just gonna leave it right there. Also, I just realized it's been over a week and we finally get to see where this whole alliance thing is taking us. This actually, this is interesting. I mean, I did not think that I would end up teaming with Trifa in this. So, if that would technically mean that if we could get Shiro and Sakurai. Oh, wait a minute. What about Tubal Cain? Lisa, if I'm remembering correctly, Lisa commanded Tubal Cain to take Sakurai away from the battlefield so that Samuel couldn't burn her. So what is Tubal Cain doing right now with Sakurai? It's got me wondering how the hell that's going on right now. Now I'm just trying. Okay, so if Tubal, I'm just trying to imagine the unlikeliest team up of Sakurai, Shiro, Ren, Trifa, and maybe Tubal Cain if he gets some semblance of control. I don't know. This episode was just kind of all over the place, and dear God, congratulations, novel. You made me legitimately feel bad for Rusalka. Holy shit, Schreiber. Good God. Okay, that plan of yours, Rusalka, kind of backfired. Really, really badly. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna end it there. Now that I'm starting to think about how badly Rusalka was treated,
I feel a bit squeamish for that one.
Thank you all so much for watching. Holy... I'm gonna say it again. I think doing this novel on the channel was probably one of my better decisions. I'm honest to goodness enjoying the shit out of this. And... holy crap. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This shit's awesome. Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that Nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.